Welcome to the TC Dojo from Single Sourcing Solutions. The TC Dojo is a TechCom community that is driven by you. Tell us what you want to learn. You choose the topics, and we find the experts. In the TC Dojo open session today, we are lucky to have Jack Molisani as our visiting TC Dojo master. Jack is the president of ProSpring Technical Staffing, an employment agency specializing in content professionals. He's the author of Be the Captain of Your Career, a new approach to career planning and advancement. It hit number 5 on Amazon's career and resume bestseller list. He produces the LavaCon conference on content strategy and technical communication management. The next one is happening at the end of this month in Portland, Oregon, and there's still time to register. Jack's an energetic speaker who has seen every mistake someone can make in the job market, and we're thrilled he agreed to join us in the TC Dojo today to share his advice and expertise. Jack wants you to ask your questions as he goes, so be sure to type them in so you don't forget what you wanted to ask. Jack, it's all yours.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. That was a great introduction, so thank you for that. All right, you already covered who am I? So this session is about soft skills in the workplace, including negotiation skills. We're not going to talk about how to negotiate on a car or luggage. And these are just lessons I've learned from 30 years as an employee, a contractor, a consultant, and finally a business owner. So I posted a survey on social media about what soft skills do content strategists and technical writers need to be successful. And we sorted them into the following. I'm not going to read all of these. You can do that after this presentation. But the biggest answers were negotiation skills, listening skills, empathy, curiosity, flexibility, and self-awareness, and relationship management, which, if you think about it, are all related to negotiation, diplomacy, conflict resolution, finding common ground. All right, so I turned off my cell phone, but not the work phone, so I'm doing that now. Okay, so let's press on. So what is negotiation? Dictionary.com says to attempt to come to an agreement on something through discussion and compromise, the process of achieving agreement through discussion, or conferring, discussing, and bargaining to reach an agreement. What's the one thing all of these have in common? Reaching an agreement. Now, what was interesting, I looked up the derivation of negotiation, and it comes from the Latin to carry on business. It's just part of doing business. Up till the point we had grocery stores, you'd go down to the market every day and you would haggle with the local vendors, and that was part of the fun, right? It's to that back and forth, and then you come to an agreement and everybody's happy. Now, I thought those other definitions were lacking, so I redefined it. Negotiation is the art of giving up as little of what you have in order to get what you want. All right, let's see if that holds true. What are you negotiating in a workplace? Obviously, your compensation if you're applying for a new job, but also project scope, deadlines, resources, headcount, budgets. So one negotiates to get to a common agreement. I think all negotiations have to be either win-win or lose-lose to be considered, quote, successful. If you're selling something, the buyer got a product or service they wanted at a price they could afford, the seller made a profit, win-win. A war, the Korean War, they had to split the country into two countries. Neither side is happy, but it's better than continuing fighting. So win-win or lose-lose. Now, before you start, and by the way, I am zooming through these slides because we have a half hour, but you can always go back and read them afterwards. Shelley Campbell, in her book, Zero to Zillionaire, talks about doing business with your people. You'll know your people when you meet them. They value you, your service, they're happy to pay you your rate, and they want to strike a deal. So the first thing you do is find your people and negotiate with them. Before you start a negotiation, do your homework. Find out what the going rate is in the market. You can use for jobs, there are the employment databases, other things. If you're buying a car, use Kelley Blue Book. Do your homework. And then set your success criteria. What's great? what's acceptable, and when to walk away. Now, why do you want to do this before you start? Is because when you get into a negotiation, things can get really heated. You get vested, you never want to make a decision based on fear or panic or anger. So if you do this ahead of time, you can calmly go, nope, that's not acceptable, I'm going to walk. Okay, at the start of a negotiation, and we're going to do a mock negotiation at the end of the slides, don't just start with numbers. Try to build some rapport with the person first. Find out what's important to them and let them know what's important to you. Now, there are contrasting points of view where people want to hold their cards close to their chest and they don't want to let the other person know what they're really going for. I don't like that type of negotiation because I'm going for the win-win. I don't know if you've ever seen Tai Chi with people in the park. It's a very fluid martial art and it's very beautiful. And it's almost like I flow your way, you flow back to mine. I need this, well, I can give you that, but I'll need this in return. And it's more like a dance than a confrontation, right? Then come to an agreement where you both win. Any questions so far in the chat window?
So far, so good.
Okay, we're gonna press on. Opening offers. When possible, let the other side make the opening offer. Why? Well, first of all, it gives you insight into what they have in mind as a fair price. And this lets you know if the deal is even worth pursuing, right? Occasionally, as a staffing agency, a company called and say, yeah, we want a technical writer with 12 years experience in FrameMaker, RoboHelp, and DITA. I said, okay, great. Did you have a particular rate in mind? He said, yeah, we want to pay him $20 an hour. And I'm going, please, I can't even find you a janitor at $20 an hour these days. So I'm not even going to say, let's readdress this. Now, a warning. People who try to talk you down to some ridiculous price saying you'll make it up in volume or I can pay you more on the next job are not your people. Don't walk away, run, Forrest, run. These are not your people and you'll end up bleeding from shark bites. Okay, however, there will be times when you have to make the opening offer, such as stating your bill rate or salary expectations in an interview, all right? I have a rule of thumb, the better the interview went, the higher my number when I quote, when they ask for my bill rate. But I always add a qualifier in case I need to backpedal. So when I was a contract tech writer, and they say, well, what's your bill rate? I would say my normal bill rate is $85 an hour, and then I watch the reaction. If I go, I can say, but since you're so close to home and I won't have to commute, I can go lower. What did you have in mind? Or if I say my normal bill rate is $85 an hour and they go, great, I went, darn it, next time I'll have to raise my rates. By giving that, this is probably the most important thing to learn out of this session, is if you add that qualifier, it gives you room to backpedal and then add, what did you have in mind? Because if you said my normal rate's $85 an hour, what did you have in mind? And go, oh, we had it is $40 an hour. Well, again, you're going to walk. But if you say my normal is $85 and they said 83, fine, that's close. That's within my range that I decided before the negotiation. Okay, we covered this. I covered this. I covered this.
We have a question.
Go for it.
How do I handle online job applications that ask you for salary expectations when applying?
That is an excellent question. I have a couple of things to answer on that. First of all, be aware that in California, and a lot of other cities are following suit, it is illegal for a company to ask you what your current salary is. The reason is they're trying to close the gender and racial pay gaps. So that's why they ask for salary expectations. I have a rule of thumb, and I have a whole another session on the top 10 mistakes writers make when looking for work. If you want me back, we can do that. I tell people, why send your resume to resumes@blackholeneverbeheardagain.com or apply through a website? Most companies these days use an applicant tracking system behind the website whose sole purpose is to weed you out. And they use algorithms to do that. My viewpoint is stop applying for jobs through websites. just stop. Say there's a job opening at John Deere Tractor. I don't know where our demographics on the call is, so let's just choose that. So you're in the Midwest, John Deere has a technical writing opening, and it says apply for our website. What I would do is first go on LinkedIn, see if anybody I know works at John Deere Tractor, or two, I could reach out to the documentation manager on LinkedIn and say, hi, I see you have an opening, may I send you my resume? And they'll say either yes or no, or they'll say apply online. Third, you can do the same thing for HR manager. 99.9% of the companies do not list HR contact on their website, but 99.9 do on LinkedIn because they use it for recruiting. So again, go that way. Finally, if you're absolutely forced to apply online, they may say apply online, but I'll keep an eye open for the application score. Now, let's get back to your actual question. What do you do when you have to submit a salary expectation? Most people will give you an option to give a range. So again, do your homework and see what your expectations realistically are. And two, embrace that opportunity. You know, pick a salary that you really want to make. And if they don't want to pay you that much, then you don't want to work there. So again, don't be hesitant about this. Carpe diem, seize the day. Show why you're really worth that amount of money, or leave it blank. So that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, any other questions? All right, let's press on.
Right.
Now, perhaps the number with which you opened your negotiation was out of range for a content strategy or technical writing job. And they go, you know, I'm looking for, you know, 65,000 a year. And they, oh, the most we can pay a technical writer is 55,000 a year. Well, can you reclassify this as a senior technical writing position? And maybe it would fit in the range then. So notice now you're not negotiating salary, you're negotiating your seniority and title. So there are ways in a negotiation to still get what you want, but not just by taking a lower salary. There will be times when the party objects to your estimate, your prices, etc. The trick is to handling why they're objecting and responding accordingly. Be able to defend your numbers. What value do you add to your company? For example, I did a technical writing project for Epson once, and the LCD projector got reviewed in PC Magazine, and PC Magazine said, the concise manual made setup easy. You think I didn't sell a bazillion of those for Epson? Same thing with, we did some projects for Canon where we reduced tech support calls by 95% on this particular feature. You know, how many people on the call have ever gone to your tech support department and say, hey, what's the top 10 questions you're getting? Let me see if I can address that in documentation and divert some of those tech calls. Then again, you're saving your company money. Have you helped with marketing collateral and help generate sales? All right. You want to show what's in it for me, as in the company. They're looking at what can you do for me? So be able to defend your numbers. If you're giving an estimate for a project and say you're doing a technical writing project and say, okay, I'm going to need 3 days to research the scope of the project, 2 days to write a documentation plan, 2 days for you to review it. Then we're going to need a week to do a prototype, and then 4 weeks to do writing, 2 weeks for beta draft, a week for testing. And they go, oh, we don't have that kind of time. And we said, well, here's a prototype that we've done. I can compress the deadline, but where do you want me to compress the deadline? Do you want me to take a week off the testing, a week off the writing? But notice now you're negotiating scope, not your price, all right, not your bill rate. If you can show how you came up with your numbers, they'll swing away from your price and onto the scope of the project. We just talked about that.
We have a question.
Okay, what's that?
There we go. We have a question.
Okay.
Have you found that hiring companies are more willing to negotiate on other benefits, more PTO time, for example, when the salary is more locked down?
Yes, absolutely. Now, there's whole bunches of things you can do and ask for in as part of your compensation. The easiest thing to do is say, hey, can I get a review and a raise after 6 months instead of waiting a year? Conferences, you can say, hey, to be successful and save the company money, I need to go to at least two conferences a year to stay current and with current trends in the industry. You can ask for more paid time off. Can I get 3 weeks of vacation instead of 2? Tuition reimbursement. If you are going to travel a lot in this job, most tech com people don't. Any flight over 5 hours is business class. You can ask for higher contributions to 401k. There's many things that you can ask for other than just salary. Okay, real quick, Bonnie Graham did a presentation once on how to create a database to track historical data and bid future TechCom jobs. If anyone's interested in that, ask me. I'll give you my contact information on the last slide. I'll be happy to send that to you. Okay, let's press on. All right, another way to handle an objection is just to give them what they want. I once had a client say, we want to bring you on, but your bill rate is $75 an hour and the max we can pay is $72.50. Well, $2.50 was absolutely in the range of what I was willing to give up to get the contract. So all I had to do was agree. There are times when the other party, however, will ask for something that is simply not acceptable. I'll give you an example, an indemnification story. I was approached to do some work for Disney Imagineering. It's the company that maintains all the rides at Disneyland and Disney World. And in their contract, they said, as the writer of the documentation, I am solely responsible for its content, and I will indemnify Disney and represent them in court if they're ever sued. I'm going, no. You are the solely responsible for the accuracy of this content, and you will indemnify me and represent me. Because if you remember, about 10 years ago, the Jungle Ride person forgot to untie the rope, the line, on the cleat, and they went off, and the cleat came off the dock, flew across the park, and hit somebody. That was a lawsuit right in the making. No. That was a clear walk-away point. All right, I want to go back to this slide for a second. Another way to handle objections is to give them what they want. This is an absolutely true story. As a contract tech writer, I went to a company, and it was a pretty small project, and I said, yeah, that's about 4 weeks worth of work at $65 an hour. And they went, oh, the most we could pay a writer is $50 an hour. I said, fine, 8 weeks at $50 an hour. And they went, okay. And I was kidding, but so I did the project in 4 weeks, waited another 4 weeks, and then turned it in and billed them for 8 weeks at $50 an hour. It was more important to them to stay under some arbitrary rate than the total cost of the project. So one way to give them what they want is just give them what they want. So be aware that might happen someday. All right. Any questions?
Not right now.
All right. I've heard it said that all salesmen talk too much. The same thing can be said for good negotiations. You should listen more than you talk. Find out what's important to the other side and respond accordingly. As a conference producer, one of the things that I have to do is pick a venue or a hotel to have the conference at, or at which to have the conference for you grammarians. The really bad salespeople, you walk in, they go, oh, let me show you your room, let me show you the spa. The really good people say, hi, what are you looking for? Great, let me show you that. So find out what's important, not what you're looking for, what's important to the other side. Another example, it's important to me to reduce my risk when I'm signing a contract with the hotel, because they expect me to fill so many rooms in the hotel in order to give me the meeting space for free. I would rather have a lower number of rooms, and we can always add more rooms later, than biting off more than I can chew. So I make them know that's important to me. Then they tell me what's important to them is they've got some dates that they're kind of a slow period. If I could bring my conference over those dates, they'll give me a lower room block. And I go, score, win-win, okay? So this is, again, a give and take. Most people consider making and receiving concessions as part of the negotiation process. Some people would just say, hey, just give me your bottom line. No, remember, you're building rapport. It's a dance. And most people expect you to give up something or they won't feel you're negotiating in face. So I always ask for more than I want. So yeah, I need these rooms and I want a Ferrari. I can't give you a Ferrari. Okay, how about a Hugo? Okay. Do you ever see kids do that? Mom, can I have a pony? No. Can I go over to Bob's house? Sure. All right. Kids learn this. Okay. We've covered all this. Okay, part of your homework can include getting bids from multiple people or other offers, and then you can use that. You can say, wow, XYZ company offered me this, but I'd like your opportunity better. Can you match that or better it? All right. And it's easier to walk away from a negotiation if you have another offer elsewhere. Okay, a caution to buyers. Decide how much time and effort you're willing to put into the process. I recently got a new used car, and my conference is in 3 weeks. It's crunch time. I did not want to spend 2 weeks looking at a new car. I wanted to get in, get done, get out. So I went online, found the car that I wanted at a decent price. I told them, this is my trade-in. Will you give me Kelly Blue Book value? They said yes. I was like, great. I came in, I signed the papers, I drove off. An hour and a half later, done. Boom. Could I have negotiated them down $500 more? Probably. Is it worth my time to do that when I'm in crunch mode? No. So decide ahead of time, come up with a plan, and be willing to walk away if you're not getting what you want. Okay, an exercise. All right, we've got time to do this little exercise before we run out of time. What we're going to do is identify what the other person needs, decide what would be great, what would be acceptable, and when to walk away. Tell the other party why you were there, but also build some rapport. Find out what's important to them, use that data to handle objections, if any, and negotiate an acceptable deal. So do I have a volunteer on the line who's willing to do this with me?
I'll play along.
Oh, yay! Okay. So announce yourself to the audience.
Hi, I'm Janice Summers.
Hi, Janice.
Hi.
Welcome to XYZ Lawn and Care Service. How can I help you today?
You know, I am looking to get somebody to come and mow my lawn for me. I have a small lawn and I need it taken care of like once, twice a month.
Great. Let me grab my clipboard and we'll go look at your property. We're now at your house. Hi, Janice.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I love this neighborhood.
It's a great neighborhood.
So you know what? I grew up about 2 blocks from here. It's gotten a little busier, but it's still close to downtown, and it's quiet. We don't, we still leave our doors open during the day, and I love the Art Deco of your house. Boy, yeah. Anyways, so okay, tell me about what you're looking for.
So yeah, like I said on the phone, I just need somebody to come and just mow the lawn a couple of times a month.
Okay, so we're walking around. I see you have a backyard. You also have bushes. So let me tell you a little bit about what we can do. That we have our standard package that for $300 a month, we will mow your lawn twice a month. We'll do edging. We'll do shrubbery, whatever you call that, cutting. And twice a year, we'll also clean your gutters.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Sounds a bit pricey. It's a little out of my budget.
Okay, what did you have in mind?
I'm looking somewhere because it's a nice little lawn, but it is a little lawn. It's not a real big lawn. So I'm looking somewhere around $75 a month.
Okay. We have a couple options. For me to bring a whole crew out for $75 is not cost effective for us. If you want, we could drop some of the services, maybe skip the gutters or edging and drop that price to closer to $200. Could you do something in that range?
So $200 just to mow the lawn?
Well, we're still doing the hedging. And we use bonded, certified employees, and we have excellent reviews. And we can also throw in weed and feed, and de-weed your bushes and your flower bed. Would that help?
Yeah, that flower bed's kind of a mess, isn't it? Well, and I know my shrubs they're the slow growing shrubs. So I know they don't need trimming every month. It's like once a quarter those shrubs need trimming.
How's this?
Mhm.
It's always easier for us to do multiple lawns in the same neighborhood on the same day. If we could get one or two of your neighbors to get on board as well, what if we do all 3 lawns for $150 each?
Oh, okay. So all I need to do is get a couple of more of my friends here in the neighborhood to do your service so that it's one stop, right? So you can
Right.
mow. Okay. Oh yeah. And then it's 150. Now, would the same price extend to the others?
Yes, if they have comparable lawns, yes. That way it's still cost effective for us to bring a crew out.
Okay. So
And by the
now,
way,
uh-huh.
we bag all the trimmings and haul it away for you.
Oh yeah.
And that's just part of our service.
Oh yeah, that's good too. So now let me get this clear then. What I would get is my lawn trimmed and my neighbors would get their lawn trimmed. You take away all the cuttings. Okay.
And the
Anything
weed and
else?
feed,
Oh, weed and
fertilizer. Hmm.
okay. Yeah, weed and feed. Yeah, and you'd fertilize like every time you come out and cut the lawn or
Every other month.
every other month. Okay. All right. Yeah, because Barb's lot over there is looking a little patchy, so I think she could really use that weed and feed. So, this sounds really good. So let me see what I can do, and talk with some people and see if I can get some people on board. How
That'd be
does that?
great.
Okay.
Here's a list of our services that you can show them. I'll give you a couple copies, and here's my card. And let me know if we can help you out here.
Yeah, one more question though. So say I just wanted to have my gutters cleaned,
Hmm.
and I just wanted that, it's the fall, the leaves are going to fall a lot, so we'll need the gutters cleaned then. Can we just buy that as a one-off service?
You know what? If we can get all 3 people on board, we'll do that for free. If it's just you, then yes, we can do a one-off service.
Wow. Okay. That sounds pretty good.
Okay? Well, Janice, it was nice meeting you. Give me a call. Let me know what you decide to do.
All right. Thanks.
All right, great. Yay.
Well done, team.
All right. So for the listening audience, you see how there was this kind of give and take, and, she came up on her price. I came down on mine. I offered additional services, took some of them back if she didn't need it. And again, it was this yin yang dance until we kind of came to an agreement. Now, truthfully, I didn't do the hard sell, sign up today or the offer is only good for 20 minutes. I hate that kind of selling. I'm going, here's my services, here's my rate. If you can use it, great. If not, fine. I've got other customers. And we just made it a win-win. Now, if she came back and said, listen, I couldn't get the other 2 things, what can we do? Then we'd probably maybe settle for like 175, or not throw in the charge for the gutter cleaning. But again, it's that give and take. So that was very well done. Thank you for volunteering. So let's recap. Negotiation is the art of giving up as little of what you have in order to get what you want. Take time to build some rapport with the other party. Decide before you start what you want, what you're willing to give up, and when to walk away. When possible, let the other party make the opening offer. Be able to defend your numbers and estimates. When possible, negotiate scope, not your bill rate. Go for the win-win. All right? Remember, ask questions, especially in an interview. A real quick heads up. I know we're out of time, so we're going to go 2 minutes over schedule. I hate it when I go to an interview and they go, well, tell me about you. Well, you don't know what's important to them. So I will say, sure, but tell me a little bit about what you're looking for so I'll have a context in which to answer your questions. Again, you want to be finding out what they need to show them you can do that. You can't address their concerns unless you know what they are. So finally, find and negotiate with your people. Life's too short to work in a toxic work environment. So Okay, recommended reading, my book, obviously, because I have a whole chapter on negotiation. How to Out-Negotiate Anyone by Leo Riley. I bought at Kinko's back in the day, FedEx office now, and then Shelley's book, Zero to Zillionaire. Here is my contact information. If anybody wants to send me the resume to review, I can do it for free. It's just something I do to give back to the community. And if you want to come to LavaCon, use the referral code TechCommDojo for $500 off tuition. So I see Q&A questions. Okay.
Well, we have a thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
And one of our peanut gallery was told Janice to walk away, but I think it was pretty early on.
Too funny. By the way, I was going to add something else, resume review. And, if anybody had any questions they didn't want to ask in a public environment, you're more than free to email me, and I'll take those offline. All right?
Awesome. Now it's time to type in those questions if you haven't already. And while you do, here's a look at what's coming up. The TC Dojo Mastermind groups are monthly driven member discussion groups where attendees present their specific challenges to a group of their peers in a confidential, supportive environment. A mastermind is a collaborative environment where everyone lends their experience to each other. They can get feedback and advice about topics on their mind in real time from others who've been in their shoes. It's been amazing to participate in and a lot of fun too. We have 3 going on right now. One is everything tech comm, data, topic-based authoring, the specifics of cross-references or graphics. The other 2 are product-focused on Windchill for IT and Arbor Text users. These sessions are not free. They're a way to guarantee commitment between the participants. You can sign up at the TC Dojo website at mastermind.tcdojo.org. We know sometimes magic is just having the time to collaborate with someone who's been where you are. Next time in the TC Dojo, we have Jackie Damrow coming to talk about data governance and privacy. Learn what you need to know when you have personal data that you're collecting about your customers and presenting documentation and keeping reports, and what the government and other people can collect about you. It's going to be a great session, so be sure to sign up. How do you do that? Well, you go to this page, www.tcdojo.org. It's a short link that will take you to the TC Dojo webpage. Down at the bottom, you can see all the things that are coming up. Thank you, Jack, for offering a discount for our attendees to go to LavaCon. It's very exciting. We will be there at the end of the month. And we have a thanks, Jack. Good luck with the conference.
Thank you. And Jackie Damrow is a great speaker, so that'll be a good session.
It will be. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, all. Hey, I had fun. I hope you did too.
Thanks for coming to the Single Sourcing Solutions TC Dojo, where it's all about you, what you want to learn. You should always attend a webinar live because you can't ask questions of a video. Subscribe to our TC Dojo mailing list at join.tcdojo.org and never miss another. Every month, we go out and find experts willing to share their expertise based on your votes in the TC Dojo survey. Why should we tell you what to learn? You should tell us. So be sure to vote at survey.tcdojo.org. The TC Dojo is our pleasure to host. As always, if you need more personal help, we're here to take you from the basics to mastery. See you next time.